There are some things that high value women simply don't tolerate. They don't organize them, they don't negotiate with them. When these things come through the door of their homes, their minds, their schedules, they're just calmly shown the door. And if you want to live like the highest version of yourself, you don't need to hustle harder. What you need to learn is how to graciously let things go. Hey, I'm Madison Gray, and I'm here to help you remove what competes with the life you actually want. And if you're new, then you should know that this goes way beyond your shoes and your closet and your junk drawer. I'm here to help you declutter your lifestyle and your mindset. So if you haven't subscribed, you definitely should. It was not long ago that I was a completely broke college dropout, working as a cashier at Target, getting paid by the hour, hustling super hard just to barely survive. And I was spending all my money on little self-care treats because my life was really stressful. But what I found was that those little things that were supposed to make my life softer and more convenient, they never did. What I wish I knew back then is that I didn't need more things to exit survival mode and start thriving. What I needed was to start respecting and protecting my energy, my attention, and my peace by letting things go. This video is all about your mindset, because let me tell you from experience that your neck tension is not gonna get better when you buy better things. It's gonna change when you finally stop trying to hold it all together and carry too much on your back. My home and my schedule used to be so crammed with clutter that if one thing went wrong, like one spill, one too many red lights, my whole day would crumble into chaos. So what is different about high value privileged women living the soft life? Okay, before we even go any further, let me just define for you what a high value woman is to me. Value is something we determine ourselves. It's fluid, meaning it can change. I believe that all women are high value, but most of you have priced yourselves way too low. And it's time to learn how to change that. By soft and privileged, I am not talking about the way you look. I'm not talking about your income tier. I'm not even talking about your political opinions. High value women don't see themselves as superior. They see themselves as selective. They know that they're valuable. And so therefore, they don't keep anything that dilutes or drains them. They know that it's a woman that makes life fun. It's a woman that makes a house a home, not the stuff in it. In fact, too much stuff can drain the energy and all the fun and all the life out of any woman. So let's get right into it. High value women do not keep panic purchasing. High value me does not turn to shopping for retail therapy. This is something I used to do all the time. I thought it was like a cute little thing about me. High value women don't buy things just because someone else set off a fire alarm, aka a sale, and what if they need it someday? They better buy it right now. They don't buy things because they think it will somehow solve their struggle or their discomfort. Buying from panic is a survival habit, not a luxury. High value women just trust that what they need will be there when they need it. And they know that they don't need to haul it all themselves, load it all into the back of a Suburban, drag it all home, organize it, and maintain it just in case. I think that trust alone removes so much of what's holding you back from feeling the way you actually want to in your life right now. Okay, I want to tell you a little story. Before YouTube, I worked as a cashier at Target. Literally, it was my most recent job. The only real job I've ever had, actually. And day after day, I watched women load carts full of throw pillows, beauty products, clothes, seasonal decor, dog sweaters, hundreds of dollars worth of little things. And almost all of them looked, in a word, exhausted. I think when we were younger, we thought that this was the dream, right? 30, thriving, buying whatever we want, whenever we want. But behind the register, I saw something else. As much as I joke about this job, I truly think God used it for so much good in my life. I saw the stress. I saw the overwhelm. I saw this quiet sadness that we've normalized in our culture about what it means to be a modern woman. But there were some that really stood out. The ones that were calm and light and put together. And every single time, without fail, this is gonna shock you potentially, they had one thing in their basket. One. Target wasn't the event. They were headed somewhere else. Home to make a meal, host a friend for coffee, pick up flowers for a birthday, grab their favorite lip gloss, and leave. You guys, that is abundance. Maybe I'm stretching here, but it's not because they had more. It's because they trusted that when they needed something else, it would be there for them. At the end of every one of these tips, I want to give you something you can actually apply to your life with it. So next time you're at the store or you're online shopping, just get that one thing that you came for and get back to your good life. The next thing that high value women toss immediately is the need for constant novelty. High value women repeat what works. Stability isn't boring. It's expensive. Trust me, I am front row seat for this. I have accumulated a lot of clutter from always needing something new, a new aesthetic, a new version of myself, a fresh start. So let me tell you something. As I started caring about myself, I talked about that very briefly, like feeding myself like someone I respected. I learned that this need for a fresh start was actually a natural part of my hormonal cycle as a woman. I started keeping track, and it was always right after my period ended that this craving would hit me. And so I started replacing that need for novelty with shopping with rearranging my furniture that I already had, decluttering my closet down to my 10 core pieces, meal prepping, deep cleaning, a drawer or some part of my house, or going out on like a little adventure with my kids. And it might sound overly simplistic, but this was truly a breakthrough for me. I stopped seeing myself as crazy and being flighty, and instead started seeing myself as a woman with understandable needs. So here's your practical action item. Start learning about your hormonal cycle, figure out which phase of your cycle you're in right now, and decide on one simple, healthy way you can care for yourself today. The third thing that high value women do not keep is flexing energy. I saw a quote the other day that said, flexing is a poor man's game. I think I used to flex with home decor. Now, there's nothing wrong with a beautiful home. In fact, I think it's a biological need as a woman to create a beautiful home. I think it's good for our souls, and I think it's good for the souls of our loved ones. What I'm talking about here is something different, okay? When I had no money, I had tons of home decor. I feel like what I was trying to do was flex and say, look, I'm a grown woman. I'm a high value woman with a beautiful house, even though all that stuff was just like 50% off Hobby Lobby clutter. And that house that I was sharing on Instagram was actually just an apartment that I was renting and happened to be 50% of my take-home pay. High value me does not need to prove anything. High value you and me, her life speaks quietly, and quiet confidence is so magnetic. Real wealth, real value, it doesn't announce itself. So, action item, I want you to look at your closet. I'd love for you to get everything out and just get it all on the bed and pick up each piece and ask yourself, is this for me or is this for somebody else? Even if you don't end up decluttering, it is such powerful information to start noticing how much of what you own was motivated by you versus keeping up with, fitting in, or trying to prove something to someone else. That shift from I want to fit in with somebody to I am a somebody, I like me, God likes me, I don't have to chase, that is worth gold. The fourth thing that high value women do not keep is saving things for special occasions. This is a little bit of a hot take, but if you bought lip gloss, perfume, a cardigan, jewelry, candles, sheets, supplements, and you are saving them for some special day, we need to talk. The high value woman inside you is not waiting to find out if today is a special day. She is not waiting to be invited to something special. She is not waiting to find out if everyone else is having a good day so that she herself can have a good day where she gets to wear the lip gloss she likes, burn the candles she likes, wear the jewelry that she likes. Even if all you're doing today is laundry and an errand, today is a special day. It's the specialist day you've actually ever had because it's the only one you have. High value women live in the now. They don't exist in some fantasy of the future or cling to the past. Today is the day to wear the nice clothes, to spray the nice perfume, to burn that nice candle. If you are saving your stuff for special occasions or for someone special to come over, it's time to set yourself free. You either declutter all that stuff right now or you start using it. Oh, is the thought of that a little bit convicting? You start living like you're special. The here and now is all we get. So you stop putting off living like your highest version of yourself and you start right now. This is the moment you've been waiting for. You become her and you start living the rest of your life. Well, that was an action item. Now that you've made that switch, I thought it would be time we talk about the fifth and final thing that high value women like you don't keep. And that's victim narratives. From now until forever, you might hear little thoughts in your mind come up. Like, I don't know why, it just never works for me. This is just how I am. I feel so guilty. I feel so ashamed. Listen, high value you takes responsibility without the self-shame. I think for me, a calm life finally began when the excuses ended. It is okay to feel all the feelings and not act on them. Just let go of trying to keep yourself together all the time. Start asking yourself, what do you need? Maybe it's a nap. Maybe it's a little sunshine. Maybe it's to purge the junk drawer or have a good cry. And do that. You don't have to earn it. You don't even have to explain it. Most things I notice that I need take between 2 and 10 minutes. And I put them off for years because I thought that they would take hours that I would only have someday. You are a high value woman with the privilege to choose, to curate, to author your insanely beautiful life. This video is your sign to start living like that. For a long time, my life looked like this. Declutter, feel good, sloppy habits creep back in, feel overwhelmed again, and then repeat with even more guilt every time until something clicked. Fear lives in the vague, but dreams thrive in the specific. I stopped asking myself, what's wrong with you? Why can't you get more disciplined? And started asking myself, what is my vision for my life specifically? What kind of woman am I becoming? And get as specific as I possibly can get about that. Do I want to live rushed, scattered, low energy? Or do I want to be calm and intentional and well rested? High value women do not rely solely on motivation. They just edit their life to create a structure that protects their peace. This way of living is so countercultural. I think it requires a lot of swimming upstream. It requires saying no to things that everyone else says yes to. The privilege of choosing differently. The privilege of decluttering your home rather than accumulating more. This is the work I do on this channel and inside my courses. Wholehearted specifically is the place where I help women slow everything down and finally see with crystal clear clarity that vision for their life. I created it so that you could have a place that even if you're stressed or overwhelmed right now, you could go at your own pace. You could have a community of women that would just meet you and support you where you are. And you could start carefully editing and curating that life. And hey, if you like this video, I like you. You should stick around and subscribe.